Yeah, I got the dual monitor set up now, so I don't have to be like clicking off.
Nice, right?
A little more professional. Yeah, it's nice.
I got 2 monitors coming in. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I just have to use one for work, so I have to constantly put them back, like keep shifting them. But I'm just gonna get another one for work and then keep this one here because it's too nice.
It is. You get spoiled by them double screens.
Yeah. Especially for streaming. I mean, it's just you need it definitely.
It's necessary. Yeah.
But yeah.
Sean has like a fucking 3-screen, and one of them, like the middle one's like a fucking curved ass. Yeah, it's like whoa.
Full immersion.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back everybody to the Stay Gold channel. Got Monday movie talk branded this week. Next week it'll be something else though. But yeah, coming at you again with some Ted Lasso chats, Succession. Got some news, stuff like that. Evil Dead Rise at the end. Me and Alex saw it, so we'll be talking some of that. But yeah, anybody got anything cool? Anything you want to bring up, talk about?
I actually watched.
Oh no, you go.
The same thing.
No, I watched a couple of. I think it was a couple of classics. I don't know if I mentioned this last time, but Caddyshack. I watched that for the first time.
What'd you think?
Not that funny. It was okay. I don't get why it's considered one of the great comedies. It was kind of incoherent. The gopher was annoying.
You know, when I saw it, I thought the exact same thing.
Yeah. It's really just not that funny, but
I get a kick out of Rodney Dangerfield and Bill Murray. They're highlights.
I don't like Chevy Chase that much, but him and Bill Murray, that scene was pretty electric, even though they hated each other.
Yeah. They're talking about the grass and shit, and
when he comes into his den and he's like, "Have a seat." No, I don't want to stick to anything. You know, that kind of stuff. That was good, but other than that, no, I don't get it. I mean, it's just a coke-filled comedy with.
Yeah, you had to be there when they made it.
I guess.
That's Chevy Chase's brand of comedy, no? Coke-fueled Bender.
Yeah, it's true. No, I guess a lot of comedians were probably back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
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 That's what made movies in the 80s, dude.
Yeah, so I watched Barbarian for the first time.
Nice.
I had been planning on watching it for months, but like, I don't know. I didn't really have anybody to watch it with, and I'm not really like one to watch like horror movies by myself. So like,
What?
But yeah, I liked it. I don't know. I actually thought it was
pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought like a lot of like the main themes it highlighted were pretty interesting. That like, I don't know, like double standards for men and women and stuff like that, and you know, and also just kind of fucked up.
Yeah, right. Gross. That fucking bottle scene where she like sticks the bottle down
and shit.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Yeah.
Papa.
Yeah,
holy fuck. And then you just like progressively learn more and more about how Justin Long is like, because like initially you're just like, maybe he didn't, rape this woman, but then you find out that he definitely did, and you're just like, wow, this could be anybody, really, like, I kind of fucked. So
you don't like horror movies?
I don't know, not particularly. I mean, like if they have a good story or good characters, yeah, but like I think it's also like I don't know if that's weird. I'm not really the kind of guy who's just gonna watch a horror movie by myself. So like, I don't know.
Man.
I mean, I live alone. Like I don't know, man. Like,
I tend to like watching like horror movies are like a great, if you have a lady friend, a date, like that's a great excuse to see a horror movie.
Exactly, right?
Yeah. But like, no, I get you. It's like hard to like sit down in a dark room and like, I'm just gonna scare the shit out of myself tonight, you know. Yeah, you really got to be in the mood.
You definitely got to work yourself up to it.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. Like I just, it's not my personal brand, you know.
Yeah. Fair. What the fuck, man?
Horror movies, the supernatural shit, not really that good. I mean, it's all the same concept, but like ones like Barbarian. I mean, honestly, one of the best horror movies is Cabin in the Woods. That one's great, but that one's like kind of self-aware and just out there, and that one's.
Those are the brands that I like, where it's like Barbarian's like Jordan Peele-esque, where there's like satirical stuff wrapped into it. It just has to mean something to me. Like the movie has to be bigger than just being scary, you know.
Right.
And tropey and
And campy is also a good. My kind of horror is campy.
Yeah, that's true. Like if it's campy horror, yeah, I'll watch it. But if it's like horror, I think I'm, probably not gonna do that. I actually almost watched Cabin in the Woods this weekend too.
That's great.
Kind of interesting that you brought it up. Yeah. I mean, I've seen it before, but like,
Okay.
Yeah, it's like the perfect horror movie, I think. I don't know. It's just super fresh and kind of a cool idea when it all comes together. So
yeah, smart.
Anybody watch Dave?
I watched the first season.
I have not.
Yeah,
I'm not. No,
I could.
No, I'm just curious because that's what I've been watching recently. It's like back on air now. It's like airing every week now too.
Yeah.
So
it's season 3.
Season 3, yeah. So I mean, if you like Lil Dicky, if you don't like Lil Dicky, don't watch it. I mean, it's Lil Dicky. I mean, and I don't know, it like toes the line between like so fucking cringy and like self-indulgent on Lil Dicky's end to being like like that. Oh shit, that hit, and it's like pretty true to like reality, like our modern living. A lot of the storylines and stuff like that. So it kind of hits close to home at times, and it kind of, I don't know. It's like Atlanta-ish. It's like Atlanta light.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I feel like when the first season was coming out, you had told me it was basically just like Atlanta light. So like,
it doesn't go that far to be like
shot.
surreal or anything like that, really. But it just is like a standard kind of FX comedy feel, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a quality show.
A smart dude.
It's good in it.
He's got
I like Lil Dicky. I just sometimes he has extended. He's talking the whole episode and he's just bitching the whole episode and he's like, like he's got all these neuroses that like it makes him a unique character, but like also you just don't really want to listen to him for that long. So it's like I don't know. It's hard to. I mean, it's a good show. I think it's like it's worth a watch, but I could understand people being like that show fucking. So.
When it was coming out, I remember thinking this looks like Atlanta. So I guess that just confirms it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, I also started watching. There was this Tupac documentary. I think it's an FX show, but I was watching on Hulu. I think it's called Dear Mama. I don't know. I don't really know anything about Tupac, so I just thought it'd be kind of interesting to learn about him. I guess.
Yeah. I went like on a big Biggie like documentary kick. A couple years ago, because I was just like, I don't know, like I know that like some of the history of it, but I don't really know them, or, like the story really behind it all. So yeah, it's kind of interesting to dive in that kind of the rap culture back then, and those two. I mean, they're like fucking legends now, right? They're like icons.
Yeah.
So, but what'd you think? How were they as a doc goes for Tupac?
I think it's still coming out. So like I think there's only 2 episodes out right now. But yeah, I mean so far it's pretty interesting. I like the focus is like on him and his mom. So and like her upbringing, and I guess she was like a Black Panther and stuff, and how that kind of like spilled over to him and influenced him to, be kind of who he was.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I've never heard a Tupac song. I mean, I probably have in a soundtrack, but I've never gone out of my way to be like.
I guess I would. I listen to more like Biggie if I'm like gonna listen to some rap like that. I don't know. I have more Biggie songs than I do Tupac songs, I think, in my playlists.
Yeah. Hey, that era like Wu-Tang and older rap like that. Yeah. Outkast, Tribe.
Yeah. Any other shit anybody watching, or should we jump into the news?
I'm still on Scrubs. I mean, I'll just keep you guys updated. Season 5. Yeah.
I mean, Mandalorian ended, but we don't have to talk about that.
Yeah, I watched it.
Oh, we're getting there. We'll get there.
Yeah. Disney Gun Corner is
Disney.
Oh, okay, yeah. We'll save that. Yeah.
Well, I won't start with Disney, but I saw that. I'm sure you guys saw too. But Amazon Prime Video is considering rebranding Prime Video to be like
everybody is.
Yeah, I actually didn't hear about that. The first time I heard about it was on the itinerary. Oh, gotcha.
It's a rumor, which HBO Max was a rumor, and I saw that and I was like, they're gonna do that. And
yeah,
I don't know. I saw Amazon TV and I was like, please no, please God no, because like that just
Like
makes me feel like it's all like packaged into
yeah.
like my delivery service. You know, I don't know.
I mean,
Yeah.
I just feel like Prime Video has always been its thing. Like it's always been Prime Video. Why would you change it
Yeah.
now? I mean, I wouldn't say it's the best streaming service either. It's kind of just got some good stuff on there, but I don't know. I just
I
don't
mean,
waste your time rebranding that. You're not going to attract anybody else.
Yeah.
I would just
Yeah.
name it Prime. I mean, because like you shouldn't
Oh,
name
yeah,
any
yeah.
other name than what you already have. Because to me, Prime is like honestly one of the better service names out there. Like, than I don't know, like Apple Plus, Disney Plus, like
Yeah, plus,
Max
plus, plus, plus,
now.
plus.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Prime is like it's clean, you know, and you don't
Yeah.
have to like sacrifice what you've built either. It's like I feel like that's pretty
That's
good.
what confuses me the most is like as a fucking massive brand, like why are you choosing to
Shifting.
just like shake it up all of a sudden? Like yeah,
like the thing I don't know, the thing I would think of would be I mean for Prime I don't know, but HBO Max, I guess I could see like I don't know, maybe some people who have never used HBO Max before are just like, oh, I'll try this new app called Max, you know, and like not
Yeah.
know, and then I don't know, maybe it's just like somehow gonna hook some people in.
Yeah.
There'll
I
be
don't know.
that, but I think
Yeah.
for HBO specifically, I think it's like I think they honestly view HBO as like a negative to their overall Discovery brand now because
Which
like
I don't understand.
well, it's like you want to get
That's
to
fine.
me, I think they want to get the families, they want to get everybody, and
I
there's
guess,
this-
yeah.
they probably hear a bunch of like little forms that they fill out from people that they send out of like I'm never getting
Yeah.
HBO. My kids will never watch a fucking HBO show. You know, like, and
You're
it's like,
risking
okay,
a
well,
Max?
shit. Maybe we
Yeah.
should. Yeah, maybe we
Heard of Game of
should
Thrones.
open it up a little bit more. That's I can imagine that's the thought for HBO. For Prime,
But
it's
the
like
thing is,
they just need to clean it up or something.
yeah, I for HBO though, like I get the whole like, Game of Thrones, it was super like, oh, titties and stuff
Mhm.
and penis. And like that was a big thing. HBO is known to be
And
able to be like,
dragons.
yeah, we'll put everything on the screen. But at the same time, that's quality. Not saying that it needs to have the nudity, but like HBO and Warner Brothers and all them, they make quality stuff. So like
That's kind of like their
HBO might have
trademark.
titties, but it's quality titties. So I mean, I don't know. I
They're
just
pretty
feel like
good, right? I mean,
Classy.
yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. In Discovery Plus, they don't really have a lot going for them. I know the guy, the owner, the CEO, or whatever the fuck, he likes making cheap, profitable content, which is why Discovery is just basically Deadliest Catch on repeat.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
cannibalized to the next show that's also Deadliest Catch on this ocean, or
Yeah.
bullshit.
We
like
got our
that.
audience
That-
here.
that's
Just
fine.
make sure they
Rush.
keep the hours of watching going. Yeah.
And that's what he likes, and he doesn't like to take risks. So I'm a little
Mm.
worried because HBO is just kind of like quality content, you know.
Hopefully,
You
it
can
doesn't
always
get
rely on
sidelined.
HBO. Yeah,
Yeah. That was like synonymous with HBO. Like you hear something
Yeah.
HBO tell, it's like, oh, that's quality studio. That's gonna be a quality
Right.
show. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So
you used to think that with
hopefully-
AMC too, and then I don't know what the fuck happened with them.
There was like 5
Yeah.
years there where they were like stretching their
Yeah.
legs and then hit ground and they were like, okay, well, we're done. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like Mad Men, Breaking Bad, Walking Dead. And then the tail end, they were like, let's do Better Call Saul since we already have it. And that was it. Like,
yeah. Because even Preacher was like, I remember watching the
Right.
first season.
Oh,
I
Preacher was
have
an
to
AMC
finish it.
show?
mm,
Yeah,
Oh,
and
I
I
didn't know
remember
that.
that being quality too.
it was
So it's
pretty
like,
good. They didn't have a
Yeah.
lot of budget, it seemed like, for that show, though, to make it
Yeah.
really something good. But
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know. I just figured, I don't know. I saw Amazon TV and I just kind of cringed. I was like, I don't know, man. I just really don't want that name.
yeah, no, I like you said, Prime's such a good name. I would
It's
just
clean,
keep it.
dude.
Yeah.
And it's
And
like,
like
Prime and Netflix. That's like you can't get better than that.
yeah,
Not that Netflix is a good streaming service,
No,
but the name is good.
that is a good name. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But like
sure.
you were saying, like the TV part makes me think that it's going to be a bunch of bundles. And already I can see, I feel like the best thing about Prime, like right now, Prime Video, is that you can like rent stuff
Yeah.
for like
Yeah.
a couple bucks. That's like
doubles
one
the
of, I don't know.
marketplace, kinda.
Yeah, right. Like you can't do that with that many apps. And
Mhm.
like I feel like
Yeah.
that in itself is good. But I have been seeing more often now that like there's like this thing where like, yeah, if you sign up for like a 7-week or a 7-day free trial for this app, like you can watch this movie, and then
that's how I watched
know.
Alien 3.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Stars.
I
Stars
got
trial?
the Stars
Yeah,
trial.
sure.
Same.
I just paid the $3, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I'll watch the Party Down, the new season of Party Down too. Fuck it, I'll be the Stars.
But yeah, I don't know. I could see there being like a lot more of that if that's like.
I mean, honestly, I think Amazon is pretty good because that's the one service I go to for like a hub. Because I have like the Stars add-on. I had AMC add-on there when I had it. It serves as more than.
So that's already been like kind of a thing.
Yeah. I mean,
that's what I use it for too.
They shouldn't sell themselves short either, like with just saying Amazon TV or something like.
Right. That's what I mean. When all else fails, all streaming service, I go to Prime because that one we have like Prime, then we have Stars, Showtime, AMC Plus, which also has Shudder now. So AMC Plus kind of has something going for it with Shudder because Shudder's actually pretty good. But yeah, I just go on there and I search something, and it's inevitably on some streaming service, but it's all bundled in, so it's kind of convenient. So.
And I don't know if you still can, but you could, I think, do like HBO and shit like that too. So like
you used to, yeah,
you can't anymore. They took it off.
Yeah. It was kind of limited though. Like, it didn't have everything Max would have, or like everything the HBO app would have. But like some smart TVs didn't have the HBO app. And so, like, my mom, when she was watching it, she couldn't log into my HBO account. So she just bought HBO on her Prime because you couldn't sync my account with her Prime account because mine had more features and stuff like that. So that's where they get you.
Yeah. That's how when I was looking, when streaming services were starting to like blow up after Netflix, like I remember like looking for like where I could find like soccer because like cool, like like it's got to be sports channels like here or there, and it's like. And for European soccer, there's like fucking every different league. There's French and Spanish league and the British league. So it's like, and they of course they divvy it up so like every fucking league is on a different streaming service. So it's like, god damn it! Like now it's just like that's how they fucking get you, man. It's
If you guys know of any golf streaming, let me know. My mother's husband is looking for somewhere to stream golf because that's the only reason they pay for cable right now. Is for the golf channel.
It's got to be like ESPN or some shit, right?
I would say either ESPN or maybe Peacock. Does Peacock have like NBC shit?
I think so.
Yeah, Peacock because Peacock has a lot of sports.
Yeah, because like I feel like most of the time golf is on NBC. I could be wrong. Yeah. But yeah, maybe check that out.
All I know is he watches the Golf Channel, so I don't know what that is.
They haven't made an app yet, I guess.
Hey, we could look it up.
It's he doesn't watch I don't think he watches the PGA. It's the other one that he watches now. I think he stopped watching the PGA people, and it's like some other golf brand.
Yeah, it looks like
I don't watch enough golf to know.
From a quick Google search, it looks like you can watch at least PGA Tour on Peacock. So
and Peacock,
man. PGA is not the move though.
Yeah, I forget what's the league he watches, but
there is some new league I think starting up in like the Middle East.
Yeah, I've heard that they're trying to like poach a lot of like pro players from like
it's like
I don't know. My dad's been telling me about it. I don't know.
He's been following
it. My mom's husband loves golf. Like when I say that's all they watch, that's all they watch on cable. Like every time we go over there, golf is on, which I don't mind. I mean, golf is probably the more entertaining of sports to watch, in my opinion. But
it is weirdly.
I don't mind. I feel like it's pretty chill.
It's somewhere like above baseball.
It's like
below.
Both of those are exciting though, because there's always something happening.
Yeah,
football,
I'm with you, Alex.
A long pause, and like in golf, there's no like announcers always talking or taking 10 minutes to tell me what just happened. It's like they're on the next hole. Oh, they're on the next hole. They're driving again,
It's just like a random like, oh, here's Paul on hole 6 doing a fucking chip. Oh, pretty good chip. Okay, let's go over to hole number 17.
This guy's in a bunker. Oh boy.
Guys, I feel like we're getting derailed.
You're better than them. So you're like telling them like when they hit a putt and it's like it misses the hole. You're just like, what the fuck were you doing, man? Like you could have done better, right?
I could have done that.
Yeah. They do cut to there's not really any lulls because they have a shot lined up every time. Usually.
Exactly. Right. That's why it's fun and exciting.
So they have 18 fucking cameramen, 18 plus, like one for each hole, like just like
whoever's got the job of like the long shot to get the ball in the air too, like that's fucking. Maybe it's just
the heavy duty camera, just like the guys just fucking pull in focus and zoom. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be intense.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Track that shit.
Yeah. Anyways, should we enter our signature section of the show here in the intro?
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's do it. Let's dunk on
Disney Dunk Corner. Yeah.
Disney Dunk. Yeah, we need like some title like to pop up here.
Yeah, need a graphic.
I'm thinking like a splash noise.
Yeah,
For some reason.
exactly.
I don't know.
Yes, it's like a dunk breaking the backboard.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Shatter the backboard.
It's right there.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you boys this about a Disney show, and tell me if you knew about it. National Treasure got canceled after one season.
I did hear about that. Yeah,
I did know about that show.
National Treasure was happening or was a thing?
I did actually.
I remember hearing it.
Deliberately didn't watch it because it didn't have Nick Cage.
There it is, straight up.
Yeah,
it was such a fast turnaround for that show too.
Dude,
I didn't know it existed until I saw it was canceled. And then I was reading this article today, and whoever wrote the article, Daily Mail, they must be owned by Disney because they were like, "I can't believe it got canceled. There's outraged fans," and they picked like the 4 tweets that somebody.
That sucks.
They look fabricated. So yeah,
one tweet. Oh, bummer.
Yeah.
So I was like, who paid you to write this article? Nobody gives a fuck about this show. But anyway, I was just curious if you guys even knew it existed.
Probably just some clickbait bullshit. I mean, like.
They've butchered a lot of those Disney Plus shows, in my opinion, just to get brand recognition. But
dude, like I think that they're just, I don't know, they're just trying to pull any kind of fucking, I don't know, any kind of shit out of the woodwork. I mean, like they brought back National Treasure, they brought back Willow. I'm pretty sure that show got canceled too after the first season. Yeah. So I mean, like
Mighty Ducks. I mean, I think it was like also. Disney Plus was like more recent. They were just trying to like front load their service with a lot of announcements and shit. And then they were like, "Oh fuck, now we got to make National Treasure." Oh no, we have no idea.
Wait, did we announce that?
You know, from the article I read though, I guess like Nick Cage was supposed to like show up in the show like as a cameo or something. I don't know.
First season.
I don't know. Like the article I was reading seemed to think that he was going to show up at some point, but like
they're still holding out hope, man. It could, he could. But dude, just make National Treasure 3, man.
Made a cameo.
Yeah, right.
Oh, really?
True. Make it a trilogy.
Wow.
Like, what is Harvey Keitel that desperate for a little bag to take home? I don't know, man.
It's a Disney bag.
Like, come along.
Let me look it up because I heard there was actually supposed to be a National Treasure 3, and it had to do with like aliens and Area 51 and stuff. But like in like the kind of like right?
Yeah,
that's what I was
What's
gonna
on
say.
it? No one knows. Fucking bullshit. But
I mean,
honestly,
like,
if you made a National Treasure 3 right now and put it in theaters, I think you'd do pretty well.
I'd watch it.
People
like
would go
financially.
out. Yeah, people would go see
it.
Dude. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
I mean, you have the audience captured already. It's people our age,
people are waiting.
Who grew up with National Treasure,
Yeah.
right?
And
I mean, that's why Mario's doing so well. It's not just because it's kids. It's people who grew up with Mario.
Mm-hmm. Fun family movie too. Like everybody can go to it, and it's actually quality because those first National Treasures are they're pretty good actually.
Pretty fire, man. Yeah. I'll go back and watch those from time to time.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. Nick Cage isn't even like himself really either.
He's playing like a normal guy.
Really toned down.
Like what?
Yeah,
team.
Like a believable.
Did you guys see? Is that our end of Disney Dunk Corner? Have we shattered?
We can talk about the Mandalorian if you want.
Okay, I guess we can go into the Mandalorian.
Why not?
How did it end? I forget already. It's.
I don't know.
I know
dude.
they broke the Darksaber. And
yeah.
I was like,
what?
Dude, I laughed
I thought the
so.
Darksaber was broken season 2.
No, or did they fix it season 2?
I thought the Darksaber was like unbreakable. I thought it was like one of those things that
it's just a lightsaber.
It's just a lightsaber, but I laughed so hard because it literally like in whoever created the Darksaber like physically, the thing like crumpled like an aluminum can. I was like,
it did.
I was like, dude, it seems so wimpy and like
that was
this show's just goofy, man.
That was what I did not get. Like, why when Moff Gideon like got into his like Beskar alloy suit, like why did he like suddenly have super strength and like it's like he's in an iron suit, like he's whooping ass. Like I've never seen that guy move that quick before in the show, and I don't know, just
you gotta up it, dude. It's got to be Vader-esque, but not Vader, but cool.
Dude, also,
the Mandalorian armor because he's got to fucking level up to Mandalorians, but fucking he can't be just normal.
Right?
He has to have his Darksaber.
Yeah. Well, dude, like also, he like made a big deal about saying that his armor was like a Beskar alloy. And like I'm pretty sure it was like the last season, he made like these fucking droids out of Beskar alloy, and Luke's just like slicing through these things. So like, why did the Darksaber not go through his if it's like the same Beskar as those droids?
It's the different Beskar. It's the better.
Well, like they made a big deal about it in like the second season because like he's got the pure fucking Beskar spear, and that's the only reason he can like fight against the Darksaber. So like,
it'll.
They have an agenda. They're moving, so I don't know.
Yeah, the canon will work itself out eventually. That
doesn't fucking matter. Nothing's canon anymore.
Was there like a tease for another season though? I honestly don't remember. Oh,
I don't know.
He had spoilers adopted Grogu, right? Which I don't know. I mean, at the heart of that show, what I still like is that relationship. So I'm glad that they still push it forward in different ways like that. But
dude, like. I don't know. This season, I get that they had to do like Mandalorian shit. I hope if they do move forward with the show that it's more about Din Djarin and Grogu and not as much about the other Mandalorians.
I kind of hope this third season was like that offshoot, which is cool. It's that season. It's the Mandalorian crew season, but I agree. It seems like they kind of know that they need to go back to the one-off adventure type. I don't know. They always don't. They do a season of that, then they do a season of connected story, then they do a season of fucking one-offs because they don't know what they're doing and they don't know what the audience wants. Like,
Favreau basically just say he doesn't know what he's doing. He's just kind of going with it. Doesn't really have an end in sight.
Really?
I heard he said like 4 or 5 seasons.
Yeah.
Wow. But I don't know.
Like they don't have like a definitive like plan.
Which thinking. Oh, go ahead, man.
Well, I was gonna go off into a tangent about Jon Favreau.
Oh, well, I was just thinking about. I had a funny thought when I was watching the last episode of Mandalorian that like I can't wait for like 10 years from now when I'm watching like Timothée Chalamet play Grogu as like an adult Yoda, and like because the canon has just extended that far that now Grogu has to be like a main character, like, and he's still alive, and it's gonna. I don't know. Where do you take Grogu? Is my question.
I had a hunch that like they only kept him alive or like took him out of Luke's care like at the end of the second season, like to get him back into the Mandalorian show, only so he would like survive because like all of Luke's students died. So like if Grogu was Luke's student, he would die. But like moving forward, we talked about like last week or the week before that like they're gonna make another Star Wars movie with Rey. So like will Grogu be alive then? So like
that's how they're gonna tie it all back and get the audience back. Rey is gonna be with Grogu,
right? But kind of neat little tidbit. That guy, he ended up dying in the episode 7 of The Mandalorian. The Vizsla guy, who's actually like Jon Favreau, but like in Mandalorian armor, so you don't know that it's him.
Mm-hmm.
But his name's either Paz Vizsla or Pre Vizsla or something, and like the House of Vizsla made the Darksaber. But like there's like I'm assuming that guy's dad in the Clone Wars show is either Paz Vizsla or Pre Vizsla, and he's like the first dude who ever like uses the Darksaber, but he's also voiced by Jon Favreau.
Oh, how the fuck do you remember all this shit? What you just said there.
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Well, I was thinking when you were mentioning that like you need to just go away from the Mandalorian like stuff. Like that's what I love about the Clone Wars show is that like there's like those arcs throughout the show. Like you're with like you're on this Mandalorian story with like Obi-Wan for a little while, and then you jump to like whatever Anakin's doing, or they meet up somehow through their story. Like that kind of stuff. But I guess that's like harder to do with live action, and when you're trying to focus on like a contained new thing in the live action canon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I guess I kind of just lost interest in Mandalorian and faith in Disney shows to like care enough to dive into them.
Yeah, I guess this
Fair
wasn't really
enough.
that much of a dunk here. I feel like I was just fanboying.
Well, you kind of dunked on Jon Favreau, right?
Yeah.
Sure, all
A
right.
little
Or
bit.
was it just fanboying? Like you liked that he's doing all the voices? He should do more voices.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
Well, no,
Why did they
I just
kill
thought it
him
was
off?
kind of
Favreau?
like neat that they like connected that shit. But
Yeah, that is nice. Yeah. I don't know. Their biggest mistake and final Star Wars conversation, I guess, is that they just didn't accept the canon of the books when they made 7, 8, and 9.
I
Like they
know.
immediately tried to destroy everything and start something that was better, but
Yeah.
they didn't have something better. So why would they think that they did? I don't know. Anyways.
Fucking Disney.
Totally
Man.
agree.
Disney Dunk Corner.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
I'll do all the sound effects till we have them. But
Thanks
yeah,
for
did you guys
joining
see that Godzilla X Kong reveal stuff that they just put out last
I
week?
saw
there?
the poster. I didn't watch any. I didn't know there was a teaser trailer. Is there a teaser?
Yeah, it's nothing
Yeah.
major. It's kind of
I
just
watched it earlier.
it shows, I'm assuming, the big bad creature. But
Which is?
Yeah,
it's
it
just
looks
a
like
monkey
another
looking dude.
like another Kong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But there's like skulls of Godzilla and Kong at his feet or whatever, and I was like, are they dead, or is that just like he killed their ancestors and he's back in now or some shit, you know, like, or that
They can't
species
kill
did.
him.
I think it's the ancestors, because like if you in like the last movie, I think that they like talked about some kind of like ancient war thing between Godzilla and
Right. When they go to
Mhm.
Kong's kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because doesn't
Which
he
was
find
cool.
doesn't Kong like find like he's like find the graveyard or
axe.
something? He like finds more Kong. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, that
Godzilla
axe is
scale
like
axe.
that.
badass.
Yeah.
Charges it up with the fucking
Fuck yeah.
nuclear energy. I mean, I
Laser.
don't know. That movie was like my number one of that year just because I had a great time. And
That was sick. Yeah.
it's
pretty
just, it's
badass,
fun,
yeah.
man. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm excited for this new one. I'll go see it for sure.
I have liked
I've-
the last couple of ones. Like that
I've
they
been
made.
yeah. I was gonna say same. I've really enjoyed like the new Godzilla stuff they've been doing.
Mhm.
Ghidorah was like pretty badass. The shit
Oh,
they did
yeah.
with Ghidorah and Mothra and stuff. Like,
Man, Mothra just came in right before the fight, like to boost fucking Godzilla.
yeah, fucking juicer.
Not a
Yeah.
bad franchise in my opinion, at least the big budget ones. So
Yeah.
excited for that one. I think it's this year, right? I didn't actually remember.
I think so, yeah.
The date.
24
I think it's
actually.
releasing this year.
2024 is it?
Oh, is it?
24
I
See that.
next year.
Oh, I thought it was for 23. Shit.
yeah, it's this 2024 film, but I don't know. Maybe that's just I don't know.
Probably need to do a lot of visual effects work now. that they're,
Yeah, right.
Working on.
Okay.
The movie's like not. I don't know.
They got all the human
Not even-
stuff now. Maybe not though.
Yeah,
they
right.
have no teaser or anything, so maybe they haven't even done much yet. But I'm excited. But what's this Michael Cera news?
Yeah. So this is I saw this there's a Twitter account it's discussing film. And they put out, news every once in a while. Not every once in a while, they tweet a lot actually. But it said the main part said Michael Cera has been cast as Superman, Clark Kent in James Gunn's Superman Legacy. So of course, naturally I was like, what? So it said a quote from James Gunn. There's only one Superman, and to me, it's Michael. So I don't know if he's memeing or if he's serious.
God,
It's
I
like
don't
know
when,
either.
like when Nick Cage was like, in the
Oh,
running
yeah.
for this, back in the day.
Dude, for
Like, it's a
Tim
joke,
Burton.
right?
That was
Yeah,
for Tim
right.
Burton. Like, how do you think
Yeah.
that?
Footage of it.
Mhm.
That
Like
was
they started filming Nick Cage being Superman. It just didn't. It didn't have the budget. They didn't have the budget to.
Is Michael
But
Cera
Michael Cera.
in the gym right
Really?
now,
Yeah, right.
getting fucking
That's what I was
Yeah.
wondering. Is he gonna
pumping
get
as
buff?
Hired a nutritionist and a personal trainer, getting the Disney treatment.
It's got to be a
I
meme.
mean,
Male
right? I
treatment.
mean,
but
I
think about it.
hope.
But the Poulter kid from We're the Millers is now playing the big bad in Guardians 3.
True.
So
Eyebrows?
I mean,
I don't know.
Wow.
yeah, eyebrows.
That's a
He's doing it. So I don't know. Maybe it's possible.
It's
Maybe
got to
James
be
Gunn
a
has that effect.
way different take
Yeah.
than on Superman than we've seen.
Look at Chris Pratt. Look at his transformation to Quinn.
I
or
wouldn't
Peter
say
Quill.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
say
Yeah,
Chris
that's
Pratt's
pretty much the same. To
the
be
model
honest.
to follow though. To be quite honest,
I thought you were gonna say look at Chris Pratt and his transformation into Mario. To which I was like, you know what?
I guess
me.
Shit.
Yeah.
I mean, like he got shredded from what he was
misunderstood.
in Parks and Rec.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What is
Parks.
Michael Cera gonna bring as Superman that like is worthy of that character? I just don't.
Kind of energy,
boy.
Yeah, right. Anxious ass Superman.
I guess that's true, but like I don't know.
Flyer.
That's not Superman,
like,
though.
Not
right?
Superman. Like I feel like everything he stands for, like he's not funny. Like everything he stands for is just like wholesome and good.
He's like the standard American. Like, yeah, he's got morals. He's not American, but yeah. But like he's
Homelander's the standard American.
True. But he's supposed to be just like that milk toast, always good, always right. I mean,
symbol of hope, symbol of good.
He's always got the confidence. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. He's got to grapple with
he's
something.
The boy, right? He's like the clone, the shittier clone version of Superman. I don't know. That's the twist.
Who do you guys think would be a good Superman?
Yeah, the OG.
Who would be a good Superman? Is that what you asked?
Anybody off the top of the dome?
I mean, I think they nailed it with Henry Cavill. It's unfortunate that like they can't.
Yeah.
And he's not really in it anymore.
I did like Henry Cavill.
I thought he was perfect. But
I respect Henry Cavill because he respects the source, and
I
appreciate that.
Same with like the Witcher series. Yeah, he's like,
man. I hope
stuff.
I watched the second season of The Witcher recently, and not great.
Well, the third season's coming. There was a teaser poster today. So
man, I hope. No, he's in the fourth season.
His last season.
The third will still have Henry Cavill.
But yeah, I don't know. I just was curious if you guys had anybody in mind for Superman.
Not really. I'd have to go through my actor
I
book.
don't.
Yeah. Thumb through.
No one's really coming to mind.
He's got the look.
Ben Affleck?
Let's give him a shot, you know?
It's funny.
I'm down, though.
Yeah, I don't know if that's real news.
I would strangely trust it, though, if James Gunn really thinks it's like legit and like, hey, man.
I'd give it a shot.
I'll follow you. Yeah.
I don't know, man. That'll be interesting for sure.
Yeah. But alrighty, should we move into some weekly chats now?
I just heard yesterday that there's a Twilight TV show coming out. I don't know if you guys heard about that.
I did hear something about that.
Yeah, it's just I'm not. I watched the first two movies. I didn't read any of the books. I'm not into it, but I just thought it was interesting that that's like they're trying to bring it back now.
They saw the Harry Potter announcement and they're like, well, we could, you know.
So now, are you Team Edward or Team Jacob?
Team Jacob all the way, dog. Werewolves for life. No,
I'm gonna come clean real quick before we move on to the stuff.
You love him.
I didn't know that 50 Shades was like a fanfic. I learned that, so I started reading 50 Shades. It is some of the worst writing I have ever experienced in my life.
But did you get aroused? Is the
Holy
question.
shit.
Well, you see, I'm listening to it on audio, right? So I'm listening to it, and it's been it was like 4 hours before they finally started the fucking, and it was just like,
you gotta have
Christian Grey comes in and he's like, I don't make love, I fuck, and I'm in like they start doing the stuff, and I'm like, this isn't fucking Christian Grey. You're making love right now. Like, you need me to show you how to fuck. I'll show you how to fuck, man, because this is pussy shit.
Your boy can fuck.
That's the only entertaining part that I've had is just listening to how cringy it's like she had a thesaurus open to find, better words for repeat words. And for a book about sex, the main character says crap a whole lot. So I don't know. It just seems weird.
That's hilarious that you brought that up because like I remember, I think it was like the summer after I graduated high school with my band, we made a music video and it was just like memey as fuck. And we actually like checked out 50 Shades of Grey from the library. So like we had a copy and we like flipped through it and we're all just like, this is terrible writing. Like, I mean, like, I don't know about the content, but like just the writing is terrible. Like,
it's so bad. I don't get I'm going to finish the book because, I bought it. So I might as well fucking hear it out. But yeah, I would just
sure.
Get your money's worth. Yeah, no, the fact I'm like trying to picture or like envision listening to something like that and like the guy, like what kind of person Like, what was that
the reader
audition?
is horrible.
I was gonna say, like, how are they like? They turn on their sexy voice, and
She's
like,
so monotone. It's like,
is
Oh,
it?
really?
this
Yeah,
sucks.
okay.
Calculated.
I was like, I figured they get like ASMR with it. Get like real fucking
No, you would think.
sensual with it.
Like, get spicy with it.
Right,
Some
right.
like saxophone music just kicks in.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
But sorry, yeah, we can move on now. You said
No,
Twilight, and that's my
no, yes, in
recent
that same
life.
vein. Sexy vampires, sexy fantasies. Yeah.
Let me know how it ends. I want to know.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah,
I mean, I've
next
seen the
week.
movies, so
Does the voice reader, does he climax at the end? I'm curious too.
Do they
it's
get
a
all?
woman.
Yeah.
But no, she sounds like she's having the worst time of her life. I mean, and I'm not having a great time either.
It's the
but-
author too. He just a little surprised there. Is it the author?
Yeah.
Who's reading it? Isn't it?
I don't know who it is. The author's like 45 when she started writing it, though.
Hmm.
So I didn't know that. This is all news. I don't know. I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about it, so I got in a rabbit hole and bought the book. So here I am.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you pulled that trigger. I would not have been able to.
Yeah, I fully
dive
committed.
in.
I when I get set on something, I don't
Mhm.
know. I'm like a pit bull. I just kind of latch on and just full send. So.
Lockjaw. Yeah. You're gonna go 50 Shades Darker, you think? Or is it
I
not?
don't think I could sit through
Can't
another
tell.
2 books.
Dude, it gets better.
I don't think so. I don't think it will.
It does.
Gray
though.
areas get grayer.
Second
Dude,
book
I-
is where it picks
I
up.
don't know who I heard this from. I heard it like a week or two ago, but I guess that because I think that there's 3 books in the
Yeah, there is.
series.
And then they
But I
made
heard
3
that
more
there's-
in his perspective.
Yeah, they're called
Wow.
just Gray or something like that.
Yeah.
Gray.
Yeah.
Grayer.
I heard that like a week ago.
Black.
I don't even remember who told me that though. Yeah. Fucking
Yeah,
wild.
that's this. I heard that on the podcast I was listening to too, because I was like, "How she made so much money off these 3? I mean, I guess it's a smart thing to just make 3 more.
Yeah.
Fuck it,
Cash in.
Yeah. You got a horny
Yeah.
audience.
might as well."
Got those
Yeah.
40 to 70-year-old women hooked. Got to give them something else.
It's just,
Menopause.
yeah. I won't get into the nitty gritty of it, but yeah, it's horrible writing, horrible characters. But anyway,
Imagine. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So Ted
I'm-
Lasso.
Yeah, right.
To a more hopeful note.
Yeah.
Ted Lasso.
fun.
Halfway through the
yeah,
final season for both
Yeah.
of these shows here. It's kind of crazy.
yeah.
Some doozies, these two, in my opinion.
Man,
Last
it's
couple.
gonna feel sad when these are done. I feel like I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta find something else. Move on. But yeah, episode 6 titled Sunflowers.
Yeah. Interesting title.
Not really
I
sure
didn't-
why actually. Is it because
Yeah,
Rebecca wore
Van
a
Gogh.
sunflower dress? Is that the
The Van Gogh stuff.
sun-
I'd assume.
Oh, you're right.
That
That's
he's
it.
like, yeah.
You're right. Yeah, what
That's
did you
why we
guys
keep
think of
you
the
around,
episode?
Noah.
What's that? Sorry.
So that's why we keep you around.
Yeah.
Locked in, baby. It's a vault.
You know,
No,
at first I thought it was kind of I don't know, like toned down. But then I think I like thought about it more. And I feel like it was like kind of a break in the season, but I feel like they also had a lot going on with specific characters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I feel like there was actually a lot of depth in this episode.
for sure.
I felt that.
I kind of feel what
Yeah.
I was feeling at the beginning was like I was hoping it was not going to be this, but it felt like a really like unimportant side quest at first. And then
Yeah.
I was like, well, I mean, this is Ted Lasso. Hopefully it means something by the end, you know? And it did. I mean, they wrap it around with a lot of characters. And overall, I think this is one of my more favorite of the season, or one that I would be able to rewatch pretty easily, you know? So
Yeah.
it was fun. I don't know.
felt
I had a
that
good
too.
time.
It was fun, like you said, Joe, like go kind of like branching off with like Rebecca, Roy, and Jamie, even like Colin and Trent, you know, kind of fleshing out that
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah, that
That was good.
finally got yeah.
yeah. You know,
That was
it's
the
fine.
best
That was
scene in
good.
the episode too, with them like talking to each other, sitting on the steps or
On the
whatever.
river or whatever. Yeah.
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 That was,
that
I mean,
was
that was
good.
pretty powerful, honestly. So it was, I don't know, it's just good
Yeah.
shit.
I even thought Ted like had a nice little like, you know, when Beard introduces the tea and it's like, this is how you change your mind, you know, like if you're in a,
Mhm.
you know, in a rut, this is how you change your mind.
Yeah,
and then ends up being a dud batch by the end. I was like, that is a nice, fun little twist, right?
Yeah, right.
Like, it was perfect. And he comes back as Piggy Stardust, anyways.
That reveal of him coming back and getting out of the car was just fucking great, dude.
Yeah.
Still the best character in the show.
Don't tell you.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was smart too for Ted. To me, it's like they're really trying to figure out. Ted's trying to figure out what his next steps are, like who he is or whatever, obviously. But in this episode, it's like they're pushing him past his boundaries with the drugs. Like the drugs are like something he's not comfortable with or doing or like discovering. But also, like I thought it was really smart to wrap the drugs in the tea, which is like a real thing. But also, it's like Ted hates tea, so like that's another boundary that he has to push past. It's like wrapped very nicely, that action. So yeah, I think they're pushing Ted past what he's like comfortable with, and I don't know. I feel bad for Ted a lot of the time because like seems like he's not like taking the correct information from the situation. Like with the sunflower painting, like he's trying to gain meaning, but all he can think about is like home, like or like some kind of simple thing. He goes back to the American restaurant like just to feel something that he knows. Like he's not a character that seems like he wants to grow past a certain point, if that makes sense. Like he knows who he is and he knows what he likes and he needs to find out like where it is, I guess. I don't know. It was like kind of frustrating, Ted's journey. At the same time, it was like good for him, strangely for me, if that makes sense.
Look at that. When he kind of said the line of like, I loved watching this game, or I watched this game with my dad. Back in the day, I loved watching basketball with my dad. I thought that was just like a moment of like, okay, I mean, clearly he's thinking about his son right now, right, and like the time he's not having with him. I thought that's like the vibe I got. He's here replicating his American experience to feel something.
Yeah,
and he's so far away.
Yeah.
And then,
I thought that was.
And then Nate walks by.
Yeah. Starts getting trippy.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I liked how the waiter was like, Windy City or whatever, Big Apple, and then he's like, I want to go to Chicago. Yeah, he's like, Windy City. Okay, yeah, that's nice little touches there. Another line I wrote down that was fun was the pineapple percussions. Just Beard and Ted's relationship is so fun, but like the way that they kind of like have a little playful, and then Ted's like doldrums, and he's just like. I don't know. It's just writers having fun, and the characters are just so wholesome and fun that, I mean, that's why I love the show. It just feels good. I mean, we said that every week, but it just feels good.
Yeah, Jamie and Roy's thing was like playful, like getting back on the bike.
Dude,
it's like simple metaphor, but like it's, it works.
The payoff of like the idea that a 40-year-old man, like teaching a 40-year-old man to ride a bike, I thought was like it paid off pretty well for me. That montage of them.
Like throwing the bike.
Yeah, like throwing it. Yeah, that was. I thought
honestly,
that was good.
I wish the whole episode was Jamie and Roy. That was what when they like split off first from the bus. I was like, oh, I can get down with this because I think Jamie's character is like one of the best in terms of his development throughout the 3 seasons.
I agree.
Yeah.
But I mean, I liked what they did. I guess the homeless man was a riot. So
right.
He has a boat. Right?
Challenge.
Wait, which homeless man are you talking?
Still the bike.
Jamie goes to get some bike.
Dude.
We need 2 actually. We need another one.
And then right at the end, did you notice right at the end he like literally hands it off to him again and just like gets it back.
And when he gives him one, or he gives them both the bikes, and Roy's like, I don't know how to ride a bike, and they laugh at him. No refunds. He takes off running.
Yeah,
that's fun.
Good vibe.
Yeah, but what do you think of the Rebecca storyline with the dude on the boat? Was that was a weaker part of it for you?
Yeah, I mean, it just feels like they've been building up for Ted this whole time, and I mean, they give her the perfect dude. He has a kid. He has this same kind of experience she's had in life in terms of relationships. I don't know. They hit it off. He's a good guy, but I mean, those are all things Ted is. So I think. I mean, this was just the Amsterdam experience for her, I guess you can look at it that way. But
how I interpreted it,
I just felt like it was like her seeing like, oh, there are good guys out there, and she just needs to get over Rupert. So
I thought that was a good thing. Because like I don't know, in my mind, I feel like she's always been like so, or lately she's been so like focused on a relationship, or
Yeah.
you know. So I mean, like this, I feel like she kind of just like stopped to smell the roses, and I don't think she'll ever have contact with that guy again, you know.
No.
And I do have to say, I feel like that guy was almost like borderline creepy sometimes. Maybe that was just me, but like
there are
moments.
I don't know. He's like forces her to drink basically a little bit. He's like, I guess I could sit here sober.
Rub them toes, baby girl.
Yeah. I thought overall though, I mean, it was pretty solid. It kind of, I mean, it's cute, you know, and I liked how it ended with she's like, did we do it? And then the line that he says when she leaves of like, did we do it? Like, of course we did. Like, I mean, it was like a very flighty romance that is like, hopefully she will never forget, you know? And to me, like the magic of that line of like, it'll stay with him too as like a special thing, but their definitions of like what was meaningful is different, kind of, you know, like this is good. It closed well, but I think it might be just like a one-off, you know, which is cool. But
I think so, yeah.
But who knows?
By the end of the episode, I got by the end of the episode, I got the vibe that it was like she needed that. Maybe now it's like Ted will kind of come onto the radar, you know.
Well,
like,
Ted's freaking texting her up like a madman.
Yeah,
it's like he's already getting kind of crazy. It seems
he's
like
in the DMs. He's deep in there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 3 a.m. You up? You know.
Yeah, it's like sending emoji after emoji. It's like, okay, don't come on too strong, my boy.
Is that an eggplant emoji?
Dude, and then so like another thing I kind of was thinking about, because like the team was kind of all together, and you kind of through the whole episode they basically couldn't make a decision, and then they finally did. And I feel like that kind of connects with Ted finding out the triangle thing, the total football, because like how Ted described it, like them like switching positions and stuff, I feel like kind of went along with like what they were doing, or like how where they got to at the end. Yeah, so like I feel like that was supposed to be, I don't know, some kind of connection. I feel like it'll work out, but I don't know. And also, I don't know if this is legit, but like in the World Cup, like this last World Cup, like the US played the Netherlands, and I just remember watching, and like I could swear the Netherlands had like a different play style, or like they were like tighter grouped. I don't think it was total football, but like it'd be kind of interesting if it was. I don't know, but I just remember they had like a weird, I don't know, just like a different play style than like the other teams that they played.
I do have beef with that total football thing. Maybe you guys can straighten this out for me, but when Ted shows it to Beard, and Beard's like, "Oh, you mean total football? This has been around, blah blah blah," and Ted's like, "Oh," because he asked him, "You come up with this on your own," and Ted says, "So should we do it?" And Beard just says, "Yes." So has Beard known about this? Why is he letting the team suffer if he knew about this?
I thought that same thing. You know, like what the fuck?
Well, I think. I mean, I don't know soccer that much, but like, there's probably several different strategies for team play, and I'm assuming Beard knew this, and he maybe suggested it previously or something, but Ted clearly just discovered it for the first time. I mean, Ted makes the decisions overall, but I mean, I get what you mean. Yeah. It kind of comes out of like a magical answer comes out of nowhere that was always there, kind of.
And Beard immediately says, "Yes, we should do it," without thought. So it's like he's known about it, and he just needed Ted to get to that point. But at the same time, your club has been suffering.
You've lost 10 games in a row now.
Yeah.
And Beard's always getting on Ted's ass about winning.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Beard's the one like holding him
throwing, bro. He's throwing hard.
He's out every weekend, fucking partying hard, man.
Yeah, man. Maybe it's something about just like Atlanta had an Amsterdam episode. This show had it. I don't know. There's something. Maybe I just need to go to Amsterdam. Like,
Couldn't help but
seems like a cool
harken
place.
back to Pulp Fiction. You know, that's it. I'm going. There's no question about it. You know what they call quarter pounders with cheese over there? You guys, you with me on this one or no?
Cheese,
No, you never seen Pulp Fiction? I mean, the whole time I couldn't help but think of Pulp Fiction through this whole thing when they kept saying Amsterdam.
Yeah,
I've only seen it once.
The hash bars, the fucking. Oh my gosh, that hurts. Okay.
I mean, it made me want to visit, honestly, because also the other storyline in this episode I thought was kind of cool was the Higgins team manager storyline. You know, like
Yeah.
That was fun. I liked how it like teased it in a nefarious way. Like Higgins has like a lover or something that he is visiting in Amsterdam. And then it turns out it's just like a nice little jazz club. But it was nice to see the team manager, little guy, getting some screen time at least.
Yeah.
It was fun when they went to the jazz club. Elliot, he was sitting in his high chair in our room because it's where we were watching it. And I was feeding him, and as soon as the jazz started playing, he like stopped eating, stopped waiting, stared at the TV, and just started doing that.
That's dope.
That's cool.
He's
You got a jazz guy.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Feeling the blues.
I told him I got a movie for you, my friend. Just wait.
Gonna fuck him up watching Whiplash as a 5-year-old.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god. Wow. I guess like this is off topic, but did any of you watch Barry? Like,
Not yet.
have you watched the new season of Barry? No.
Not yet.
I don't want to talk about it.
All right, I'll catch up soon though. If you want to talk soon.
Yeah, I'll try to catch up too.
Yeah, what the
If we're gonna
fuck,
talk about
guys?
it, I'll catch up for the cause.
For the cause.
But
Both the greats are good. Yeah. Any other? I mean, it's fun.
It was an okay episode.
Yeah, it does feel like a little midpoint kind of. Now we got to shoot off for the second half here, but it was nice. Yeah,
it's hitting the beats.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm trying to I feel like this episode was as to like last season's Beard. I don't know. There's like always an episode that like shakes shit up. I feel like
outside of the team season, or whatever.
Yeah, just like establishes the dynamic outside in the real world. I don't know. I like that because it develops the characters, and it's just like, all right, now we
refreshing,
have a better idea of where we're going. Yeah, it's refreshing.
Yeah, and it does give like the writers a chance to kind of settle and refocus. Yeah, for sure. But yeah,
good episode.
Yeah, should we talk about Succession now?
Yeah, let's talk about the real show.
That shit was
currently.
Succession, the kill list. That's what the episode's called.
Yes, sir.
That shit was hilarious when Greg and Tom were. Oh, there's a kill list. Yeah, it's I think it's like 9, 10. It's evolving. Like,
how does Greg have all this information?
Right? Like, who's he talking to? That's like telling him this shit. Yeah.
Fuck, what was that word that he kept saying? The quad.
The quad.
Something
Yeah, the quad squad.
Quad squad. Yeah.
The fucking family.
And they're just like, what the fuck?
Start the episode. Kendall's back on his bullshit, so that's kind of we're back with.
Dude, it was dope. I got like season 1 vibes, like Boss Man Ken, like fucking rolling in.
Like the very first episode, like that's exactly how he comes to work. So like,
listening to the rap music.
Yeah.
I mean, it does feel like we're living in like the fruition of like. I mean, it does feel like the setup of the first episode. And then, I mean, my initial gripes for the show overall was that it like treaded water because it sets off Logan as like sick, dying in the first episode, and then basically he gets better in the next episode. So it is kind of nice to be living in. I don't know, man. We're in the end game, and I guess we'll get into what happens throughout the episode. But Kendall's enjoying it as we speak now. At first.
I really like where Roman's going to. I think his character is really taken off this season. I mean, towards the end of last season, it was like starting to catch ground. So I was a little worried. Like I said, I thought they were going to tread water this season because, I mean, what else can you do? But honestly, it's impressive. They're keeping me engaged and keeping it interesting. So
yeah, man. He had like that lot, like when they were talking about Logan, him and Madison?
Matheson, I think.
Matheson. Yeah, when he's like talking, they're like kind of like figuring out the deal a little bit, and they're talking about like their dad comes up and like talks about like how he's a prick, and Rome's like defending that he's like, our dad wasn't a prick, just like as far as Rome's experience goes. I was like, that's kind of it's just like nice little touches like that. That's like, I don't know, it was cool. Like Shiv had a whole dynamic going with Matheson in this episode, like so many stuff like was like developing.
You find out that he's been given like his I don't remember what position she had, but he's been given some chick his blood.
Bricks.
What
blood.
the fuck? Like half
you find out that
liters.
he's like kind of crazy. I don't know. Yeah, just what the fuck.
Yeah,
half liter seems like a shit ton of blood. Like oh my god,
healthy.
Like, don't you only have like 6 liters, or am I thinking of pints, or like I don't know. I could look it up.
No, that's
when he said the liter, and Shiv was like, a liter? So yeah, it's a lot of blood.
Fuck.
But
how is that like a joke too? I don't like send someone
5 liters
of your blood.
You have 5 liters of blood in your
Jesus.
body, and it gives half a liter. Jesus Christ!
That's crazy.
Wow.
But when they take off to go to Sweden, I thought it was a nice touch. They're all putting their compression socks on, the old guys.
Yeah.
Because what happened with Logan. Rest in peace.
Nice. Yeah.
But yeah, that was fun. Is there a problem, Tom?
Yeah.
I thought this episode was feeling like one of the weaker ones this season at the start. It's kind of like every episode where they have to like kind of ham fist the reason to go to the party, because like the old squad basically were like just lingering around in the scene at the start, being like, "You guys need anything? What do we? We don't really know where we're at and what we're gonna do." Yeah. So like, and then Mattson basically comes as like a savior to be like, "We need all those main characters now to come." Like.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh man, it's a little too convenient, a little too forced." But then it kind of washed away because once the actual like power dynamics start when they get there, it just becomes great, and that's where it shines.
It definitely with the Skarsgård going up against Roman and Kendall, that was like the first time was super epic. I mean, he's like, "I'm trying to make you rich," and Kendall's just like, "Already rich." I'm
rich.
Like,
yeah,
damn.
Yeah.
Already rich.
Cojones.
Contest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Skarsgård's character is one that I find to be like one of my least favorite characters on the show. When the first time you meet him in season 3, he just kind of doesn't feel like fully developed, and he's just kind of like a douchey tech guy or whatever,
Yeah.
And like when you meet him here, he's constantly like flip flopping in the conversation, where he'll be like, "Oh, you can't handle it," and then you're like, "Well, we can't talk. You just chill." And then they're like, "Okay, what do you want to talk about?" He's like, "Okay, let's get to the deal. Let's get to the business." Like.
He wants to be in control, man.
It's just like so flip floppy with that character that it makes him so unlikable to me, which is good. I mean, he's playing it right, I'd say, but like he's like, "Oh, you brought your whole team here," and then he's like, I was like, "Dude, but you like, asked them here." Like,
I know, I was like, "What the fuck?" Like,
right. So it's just like they don't call him out for that stuff though, which I think Kendall and them would, I guess, but.
I did like how Roman finally did kind of call him out on this bullshit at the end.
That was nice.
His explosion, like clearly. We haven't seen like Roman be fully off the hinge kind of like that. And that was great.
That was good.
Dude, and it like paid off so far as like we've seen. But like I was kind of waiting for like the other shoe to drop where he like fucks him over somehow. But like,
well, I think he is fucking him over.
I would assume, right?
Yeah.
But like, I don't know.
They have to take the deal now. Is what I'm getting is like, in good faith, they have to take the deal or else they're breaking it themselves. And it's like some legal repercussions, I think.
Yeah.
Because they got more than what they originally went in for. So now, I mean, it's great because like he asked Shiv to take a picture of them and like Kendall's like being like, great job, guys. We did it. And then like, clearly this is like worst case scenario for him at the moment, like.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know, how are they going to get out of this? I don't know what your guys' theories are. Mine are still that this whole family is dissolved, or like they hate each other, the company's destroyed, Kendall might be dead or some shit. I don't know. I kind of view a bleak end here, but
oh shit. Well, you were saying that it like I don't know, we talked about a couple minutes ago how it like was mirroring the first season and how Logan like, had a stroke immediately and at the end of the first season, I mean,
Kendall kills somebody.
Yeah, like drives off the road into a fucking river. So I mean, like,
out of like recklessness and just
who knows?
Yeah,
I don't know. I just with them, like they're torching the deal obviously because they personally want to have the power of the company still.
Yeah,
and they're like, Kendall clearly has no fucks given towards Shiv bringing her in, anything like that, even though he said he did. Roman's the one guy that's like constantly being like, should we get Shiv in here? Like.
Yeah.
I honestly think that Kendall is going to be the one to bring like the company down, and Shiv might be like there to like push shit into the fire because she doesn't give a shit anymore. And Roman's going to be the one that's like truly suffering. That's kind of how I see it, but I don't know.
You like how also like I think it was the end of the last episode when Kendall brought in, his name's Hugo, right?
Yeah.
Brought him in at the very end, and he's like, I want to like basically make him look bad, like their dad. And then like at the start of this episode when they're all getting on the plane, they're talking about like basically like these articles are coming out that like are trying to like make him look bad, and he like says to Hugo like we'll fuck these guys up or whatever. Yeah, like you know, like I don't know, but like I mean
he's just I don't know. I at the beginning of the show I thought Kendall deserved it all, kind of, but I mean throughout the evolution, no one deserves it, obviously, but I think they're gonna push it. That man deserves like a decently happy life all by himself.
Connor's a good guy.
That's it.
He is.
He's not a good guy.
I actually think that Shiv is gonna ride the wave of success with maybe Madsen and watch her brothers burn.
Take over.
You know, that's interesting too. So like she does not give a shit about that kid. Like her kid. I mean,
she was
not
drinking, doing coke.
Yeah.
And then also at the end of the episode, she asks Tom if he wants to grab dinner. Like, was that being like sarcastic or was she being serious? Like,
I just found that she is like reckless as shit right now. And
I thought she was like riding a high, like you know, I'm in the room with these powerful people. I'm feeling like the wind coming, that kind of shit.
She flicked her ear. She was kind of into it.
Yeah. You felt that advance, right?
Bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess my final note is that the show is great. I mean, we could say that enough, but I've been trying to rationalize how I would like explain why this show is so significant or why I think it's such a quality show, because it's kind of just shitty as fuck, you know, like, and if someone was like, that's your favorite show, I'd be like, why, you know? And I think it's mostly like how tragedy and comedy is like, that's the life concepts and entertainment concepts. But like in this show specifically, I mean, straight up in this show, it's messing with those things on a macro level, and it's so successfully done. Like with at the end where they're literally on the top of a fucking mountain making decisions about what will affect the little people below. You know what I'm saying? It's so like goofy and silly, but also so fucking powerful and tragic, like, and dumb. I don't know. It's just this show is so well wrapped with comedy and tragedy specifically that it's what makes a great art piece for me for this show. I kind of just had to like rationalize a good way to pitch it, and that's, I don't know, that's what I came across.
You know, like when you were talking about how they're on the mountaintop, like deciding like what the little people, you know, down below will be doing. I remembered that line when they're on the plane and Shiv's like talking to them and Kendall's just like, we're getting ready to like wrestle with fucking Scandinavian ogres or something like that. And she's just like, you're just like looking over some documents or something.
You're just looking over documents.
Like, it's really not what
nothing,
you're making out to be. Like,
it's all built up in like their egos and heads and shit. But but they are the ones making that decision. So it's just crazy. And I don't know. Yeah, it's such a good show. And I wrestle with like how I explain the importance, I guess. So
no, I remember there were like instances of like with like encounters you see with Logan and Pat. I can't think of specific examples, but like points where it's like clear, like Logan is going through the shit, like, you know, a deal or whatever, and like everyone's around and someone comes up to him like his, you know, and like is like, oh, happy birthday, and it's like the worst timing because he just went through like this ordeal and now he's being approached with this like lighthearted like person who has like no idea what the fuck they're doing there, like that kind of shit, you know. So yeah, I get that because it's just like fun because it's like that juxtaposition of like what one person is dealing with as like super serious, super intense. Like this is the fucking the tragic part of it, and then the comedy part of it is like some people just like don't fucking get it. I have no clue like what they're doing here. You know, have no context or anything like that.
And when you zoom out, like this show does, everything looks funny for how dumb the characters really are in the end. You know, like so really good. Any other?
I'd like.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say the main thing I think I really enjoyed about this episode a lot too was like I don't know, I just like picked up like aspects in Kendall, Rome, and I mean Matheson straight up tells Shiv just like, you know, you don't judge, you know, that's you're like your dad, you know, I like that about him, like you're not judgy, and I was like, cool, that's like someone literally like parallels Shiv with Logan, and then it was like, but like amongst the negotiation with Matheson, I was just like catching like, you know, Kendall's obviously like the
Logan
stoic
glimpses.
Logan, you know, part, and Rome's like the what would Dad
Angry.
do? He'll do whatever the fuck he wants at the end of the day, right? Like, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah, it was just cool. I was like, man, we're like actually getting pieces of Logan showing up here now that the kids are like in full swing and full power.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. But yeah, that was like the main thing at the end of the episode. That was like nice, well written. Like made the episode for me. But
yeah, I haven't really missed Logan like I thought I would. They filled in the gap of Logan. He's still here, you know. It feels like he's still here, or like his presence
is there
for sure. So I don't know. I guess what I was worried about that they wouldn't have enough episodes to sustain without him, but it's feeling good still. You know, got 5 more to go. So yeah,
absolutely.
Hell yeah.
But join us next week for more Succession talks, because now we got to get into some movies.
That's right.
Alien 3, is that the move?
Yeah,
we're kicking off our next
dive.
dive. Yeah, our third director.
Exciting stuff.
Grimy, sexy, I think is the word we were going for.
Grimy, sexy,
darkly.
What a mix.
Sensual.
Yeah. A little kinky.
kinky.
No, yeah, we're going with, you guessed it, David Fincher.
The Fincher.
The myth.
Yeah, I think he directed this movie when he was 28, and the studio had had their grimy fingies in it, so it kind of was a big old shit show.
That's what
the only reason he kept his career is because Sigourney Weaver kind of went up to bat for him. So it was like, hey, the studio kind of fucked this guy. He's got so much potential. So luckily, because he's made some bangers. So
yeah, I saw that too, and like it's kind of wild that his career didn't get destroyed after this movie, and it is crazy because
nowadays,
I mean, there's probably hundreds of examples of directors that have a movie that fails and then are out forever, and like I just imagine if Fincher was one of those, because he's made such great films that like just imagine the films that aren't made. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's just crazy. Like
in his imprint that he's had on like just the genre of like thriller. Think about that, or crime thrillers too. That alone, it's just like, how would they be different? You know,
without his touch, without his impact,
and his meticulousness for filmmaking. You don't get that very often, and it's kind of like, I mean, you can probably think it's exhaustive to watch some of his later films that are like 3 hours long, but like for me, one of his longest films I was the most engaged with. So like the whole time. So yeah, it'd be so weird if he didn't get to that point. You know, we didn't get Fincher.
Didn't have that chance. But we're lucky, man. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for this dive. I've seen most of Fincher's films. There's this one I hadn't seen, and then Panic Room and Mank are the only two for me. So it's kind of nice. I have like one at the beginning, one in the middle, and then Mank at the end. Kind of like a wide spread there that I haven't seen. But I'm super excited for this dive because Fincher's one of my favorite filmmakers. I think
definitely
harkens back to Kubrick for me now on like the intentionality and the number of takes and the quality level that he is there to achieve. So I think he's one of, if not the best filmmaker today. And I'm curious what you guys think. I know we probably have a spread on like what we've seen, what we think, but
I think he's in terms of your Kubrick parallel here. I think he is more engaging than Kubrick. I mean, he's meticulous with his work, but I think what he does is just a little bit more engaging rather than the kind of overindulgent takes that Kubrick would always do, where it kind of felt like it was a little heavy in the ass end. But with his Mank, Panic Room, this one, I think The Game, is that one of his? Is that a Fincher? Yeah, those are the only ones I haven't seen. But majority of the ones I have seen, and they just feel like the meticulous pays off better than Kubrick for me, at least.
Fair enough.
But
I get what you mean.
Let me justify that before I start sucking Fincher's dick and then shit on Kubrick a while ago. So throw that out there.
Yeah, there were like parts of this Alien 3 that like parts that I found to be very like meticulous and like, oh, like he is pulling from the previous ones, and then other parts where I was just like, what is like does this work? I don't know if this is,
I agree.
the alien that, like if this fits or if this feels right.
So
like, yeah.
Well, I guess like you were saying, Alex. I mean, there were problems like with the studio and stuff. I heard like he had a lot of battles with producers. I like looked up a bunch of information after I watched it, and I guess like there were multiple directors attached to this before him, and then they finally settled on him. And in the article I was reading, like, because Matt, I remember you saying like he basically disowned this movie, and I guess that was back in like 2009 or 2010. He made a statement about it, and then it came out that like what the movie could have been like, because I think he had other ideas for it. Like I was seeing that there could have been an idea where like the xenomorphs basically there's like a land battle on Earth with them, or there was like this wood planet or something with monks. Honestly, I feel like either of those ideas would have been better. I like throughout the whole movie, I'm just like, why is this on a prison planet? And I feel like the only reason is because like it's alien and you need that like psychosexual fucking thriller thing going on,
expendable ass people and
so like I don't know,
corridors, high sexual tension for some reason.
Metal doors.
I mean, I get that.
Vents.
I watched Alien again. I didn't watch Aliens. I still haven't seen it. So
I haven't seen Aliens either. I've seen all the other ones except for Aliens.
Same.
Really?
So like I get the whole like the theme of the sexual. It's kind of like Evil Dead in that way, where it's like you have that sexual act like flavor that they add in there to kind of give it more of a punch. I could live without it. I mean, I didn't really notice it until I started thinking about it. I was like, oh, okay, I guess I can harken back. So, like you said, I think that's why they kind of went to the prison thing, just so they can have a bunch of men. Which honestly,
it's easy. It's just like easy to tie in that stuff. Like
it's like almost like just a sci-fi concept that they had before, and they're like, that works with Ripley. Oh my gosh, like.
I just feel like I mean, I could be wrong, and there could be some crazies out there that are just that like tied up and want to fuck that bad. But like, I just feel like no person is that manic in terms of wanting to bust a nut. I could be wrong, but it just seemed a little bit overblown to me. But and
I'm sure there's manic people that want to bust it out.
I'm sure there is, but I just don't see how these guys are all like, I'm celibate or whatever now. It's like, okay, at least show it a little bit in some characters.
This upsets like the order of things. I want to fuck now.
Yeah.
I mean, I commend it for like keeping its alien themes of like not like women in a men's situation where they're not being believed, all this, and she's the underdog. That's what Alien is at its core, kind of. And Alien's kind of a weird franchise because there is a lot of like sexual themes in it with like penetration and like.
Well, the alien is a penis shape.
Yeah, it's like there to impregnate you and
that tongue.
It's really weird, and I don't know. I think where it really suffers is like 90s grunge aesthetic, and then I don't know, stories written by like 7 different writers or some shit. So it's clearly just studio poop, pooped out into fucking a brick of a movie, and then I honestly though like. It has to be a uniform. It comes out hurting, when you have it. But I mean, what I took away from like Fincher's part of it was that like the shot choices were pretty good. It like felt good to watch. Like actually, like the characters kind of felt pretty good. Like they shined in moments.
Ripley and the doctor was like definitely.
I mean, Charles Dance was carrying so much of the first part of this movie, which I was so glad.
Yeah, so quick. I was like, damn, really? You had to like cut him out so fast.
It was a cool, shocking moment. I'll give you that. It kind of took me by surprise, but the next hour suffered so much because there was no Charles Dance. So much.
Right.
And in terms of that scene, that was one scene that the studio didn't want, and they said no, there's no room in the budget for that. And so Fincher took Sigourney and they shot the scene, and that was like their marketing scene. So if they would have just maybe gave Fincher the freedom, maybe this could have been something completely different.
Yeah. Fucking studio, man.
Yeah.
Fucking suits.
Yeah, I mean, also though, like this is probably not the first example, but one of more like prescient examples of like a studio just like greenlighting something for profit with no script, no like idea attached, which is, I mean, terrible. But like, I don't know. I think this kind of set the tone for some of the things because it made money too, which is unfortunate, honestly, because it proved that they could then make Alien Resurrection down the road, which is I actually watched today. Fucking terrible. Like, I don't know. This one's better than Alien Resurrection.
Is that like Alien 4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I have not seen that one. I guess I haven't seen Aliens or that one. This is not like a 5, right? Or is 5 technically like
Alien versus Predator?
When it gets
Predator.
Oh, okay.
And then there's Prometheus.
And then like, Prometheus.
Which I like Prometheus. I'm not gonna lie. I actually like that one. Alien Covenant.
Prometheus and Covenant is good. Oh, you didn't like Covenant.
I didn't really like Covenant that much.
I thought it was fine. I don't know.
It slapped.
Michael Fassbender making out with himself.
Yeah.
What's weird about that?
Steve Jobs on Steve Jobs.
Dude, I just love the company too. I don't know. I feel like it just gives me like Amazon, Jeff Bezos vibes. Like, I don't know, when Amazon branches out into space and fucking takes over the universe. Like,
no, I have to say the main thing that took me out of the experience, because I obviously I recently watched the first Alien, which is visually stunning.
The first one's good.
That just goes to show practical holds the fuck up. And going to the CGI, mainly CGI xenomorph, it was just kind of like it doesn't hold up. And
Too
like
much.
if you want to just put those side by side as comparison, that one's better. But also, big gripe, and maybe you guys could correct me, maybe I missed something, but how come because it was inside Ripley, the alien took its time bursting out instead of everybody else? It was like an expedited process of bing bang boom.
Maybe because it's the queen. Maybe it's something different with the queen. But I had the same thought. I was like, this is kind of bullshit. Like, it's going to develop way faster in a human. And yeah.
Well, I mean,
armor got infected, and then it immediately became a xenomorph, and then everybody else, same thing.
Well, if you haven't seen Aliens, I mean, I guess, but if you haven't seen Aliens, I mean, the beginning of this movie makes no sense. Like, I mean, they crash from what happened previously, and the aliens are dead previously. So, like, they don't really tell you how the alien got here. I think it got into Newt's fucking pod or whatever, but they kill off Newt and Hicks, which are like heroes from the last movie. I don't know. They just made a lot of terrible decisions right off the bat here, and then don't clear up the decisions that they do make about how like the aliens here, how it works. This design, like, it gets the dog first.
All comes back to the planet. Why?
All right, you always got to go there. But I mean, I was also questioning like, what's an homage and what's just stealing? Because like it gets the dog, and I was like, that the thing.
The thing.
I was like, okay, so like, is this? It's only been like 10 years, maybe less than that, even between these two movies. So I'm like, is this good or is this bad? You know, like. And
a good example of this is actually the new Evil Dead. You know, that's a homage, I would say, to the thing, the end of that movie, in terms of what becomes. This is more just like, that worked. Let's do it.
Let's use that.
Let's get the dog first. Let's hit that beat, you know. But yeah, the design of like the more like dog creature, I didn't even really like the design in this movie either. It definitely is weaker than the previous two. Like 100% weaker. So, I mean, I don't know. Even the chase scenes weren't engaging in the last half. I felt like they just were there, kind of. I don't know.
It didn't feel like that much tension in those at all. Like, well, and maybe it was because like the CGI was just like kind of a little too much and unbelievable. And it was shocking when it would go from like those like CGI when they need the full body to like run, and then it would like go to a like practical close up. It's like whoa, like something is. I don't know. It was just shocking.
And even the big, like when they land the big exposition shot or whatever the fuck, where they're on the planet, and it's just this CGI backdrop. But like they built in the first Alien, they built that ship. They built the inside of that ship. Why couldn't they just, I don't know, do it again? Because that was fucking phenomenal to look at, and it's from, you know, so long ago, and it just still looks good. No one learns. I don't know. I don't get it. You know, you have a good thing. Why not just continue doing this good thing and learn from it?
Right. I mean, you see all the praise that like directors and sets that use practical fucking effects to like the fullest. Like clue in, man. Like I don't know.
It's cheaper too, as far as I know.
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I just overall this movie wasn't great, and I didn't really enjoy it. To be fair.
Fair enough.
Kinda same.
With you there. Yeah.
Didn't really expect to love it. Yeah, so I was kind of just trying to find like value out of it. I don't know, but
No, yeah,
there were moments. One moment that I thought was pretty solid was the reanimating of Bishop's head.
Yeah.
When she's like plugging that shit looked great, and it
did.
It was like an actual moment of like connection between two characters that we kind of know, you know, like.
Yeah.
So that was cool. I like that scene, and there was a funny moment where I was like, dude, they're just like snatching people out of the ceilings left and right here. And then the next scene, you see the janitor like mopping, and he's like looking up in the ceiling panels. Like, so I was like, okay. I mean, there's a moment, like they're putting moments in here, but then I think honestly, just the last 40 to an hour just killed any love of the movie for me. It just
was like dozing. I was like dozing at that last half hour, which sucked. Like yeah, I had to like rewind and be like, wait, like let's finish it up.
Oh, it's Alien.
Yeah.
So many low angle shots in this movie too of the characters. I was like, dude, switch it up, man. I mean, I know Fincher was like,
scene was like we're attached to their dicks the whole time.
Yeah.
So tight on them, but so low. I'm just like, oh god, like give me levelness. Like fuck, like. I know Fincher was like a music video guy before this, so maybe he was just working in like dynamic shots, quick, you know, like.
Yeah.
But I don't know. He learns his lessons clearly, but.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would just watch the first two because honestly, I think, I mean, again, like we said, the first one's like lovely piece of film history, and the second one is like, I will say, like, I guess as far as genre in like a franchise, this has a lot to offer because it's like, you know, the first starts off pretty like horror thriller, space sci-fi thriller, and then the second one becomes like action thriller comedy horror, and then this one's kind of similar where it's less comedy but just action horror or whatever. So it does cover some cool bases in that aspect, but the quality definitely
dips a little, off, for sure.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, what's up?
No, go for it. No, not much.
I am quite excited though that there's going to be a new Alien show coming on FX, and it's being showrun or written or produced by Noah Hawley, which made the Fargo TV series and Legion.
Okay.
So if there's person I would trust with like a sweet alien concept now, I'm gonna watch that show for sure. So
I can see that being pretty cool. Yeah.
So maybe he knows what he's doing. I'm excited for that. I think it's supposed to be maybe like next year. I think it's in development right now. But.
Wait.
Cool. Yeah, I wonder.
He's a smart writer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wonder like when in the whole like timeline it'll like take place.
That's what I'm wondering too. And I don't know. They can disregard canon. I don't give a shit because like after the third one, I mean the end of Ripley and Alien 3, it was kind of cool, I guess. Like her cradling the alien as she jumps into the fucking fire pit or whatever the fuck.
I took that as like it was gonna jump out and not get in the lava. So like I thought she was like holding it there.
For sure.
It's not like.
First, I mean that's definitely what it was, but to me, like the symbolism there was what they were trying to go for too, where it's like weirdly this like sexual baby, you know, that she has to take with her now into the end or whatever.
I got that too, as like this more of like the movie. This is her franchise, you know. This is like her baby. This alien movie. It's like
taking it with her.
This is her send off. Yeah, I didn't mind that either. I thought it was alright.
What Noah Hawley could do with the Alien series is just do what he did with Fargo. Just take the concept of Fargo and make his own thing. I mean, Fargo he like puts little homages or like little tidbits that kind of pay off for the movie. But other than that, it's just
it's hard.
It's his own.
It's
his own Fargo, you know.
Because like you could say that Alien Covenant did that, but to me, like Alien Covenant did nothing special because they did that. It's, you know, like, and the reason why I like Prometheus is because it's attempting something totally different-ish, but similar. I don't know.
I like how that Prometheus. I like how that the tone of that movie is almost like investigative because of Fassbender's character. You know, they're like researching the history and like trying to like get to the all that stuff.
So like
past races and stuff.
Like Hawley, I'm sure he's gonna set like a crew in space that encounter an alien. Like that's kind of the basis of what you need.
But just do another space station that encounters the face suckers or something or another.
But how do you shake up this concept? Because Fargo, he doesn't really shake it up, but he freshens it and keeps it fresh. I guess if he just keeps those tactics for Alien, it translates them somehow. But what'd you say?
I just said Predators.
Oh.
That's season 2, baby.
Yeah.
I feel like he needs to put it on a planet. I feel like let's get off the space and redo the planet and make it like better than the third one. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that'd be cool. It'd be cool because the way the Predators movies are, like you're like surviving thing in the woods, that kind of shit. Yeah.
So in none of the movies they're like
Earth, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I think. Like
in none of them, they're like stranded on a planet, right? I mean, they're just like in ships, and then in some movies, they go down to a planet on a ship, like Alien 1 or Alien Covenant.
Well,
maybe
Aliens, I think they are stranded. No, maybe not. They're sending.
I don't know.
An army
I mean, I've seen like half it. Is it like a space station for aliens, or like
it's a planet? They send an army military unit to the planet to wipe out the aliens. I'm pretty sure. So they're not stranded. Then I wouldn't think, but.
Okay. Because I mean, like I don't know, maybe like stranded on a planet. I feel like you could do a lot with that over I don't know, if you get stranded at a certain location and you have to get to another location on the planet, and like the aliens just tracking you the whole time, or aliens are tracking you the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like the alien habitat, wherever that's actually at.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, but what? How many David Fincher movies have you seen, Joe? I'm just curious.
Honestly, I don't really know. I mean, like on Saturday, you told me to watch Alien 3, and I'm just like, yeah, sure, fuck it. And then I haven't really like researched David Fincher, so like I might have seen some, but I don't know. I'll look this week. Social Network and get back. I have seen that. Yeah.
Then you've seen a Fincher movie
for sure. I'm just curious.
So what's next?
Next up is
Seven.
Seven? Okay. I actually have not seen that.
Huge comeback from this movie.
Huge.
I've heard a lot about it, but
it'll be. I haven't watched this one in over 10 years, I think. So
really, oh, okay. So it'll be pretty fresh for you then.
Be cool.
So it'll be like you're watching it for the first time.
Yeah, that'll be a nice little re-engagement on my end of it.
Sure.
But yeah, I'm just excited for Fincher, man. I think, like I said, he's one of the best filmmakers right now. So.
He's got the juice.
Yeah. There's some good ones in the lineup I'm super excited to talk about.
Yeah, for sure.
Fight Club being one of them. Social Network, obviously. Yeah.
Huge influential movies. But
Zodiac, the first time I saw Zodiac, I was just like, this guy.
Yeah, that movie fucks so hard.
That is good.
Yeah, fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
but we'll get there. We'll get there, all right. What would you guys give Alien 3 as a rating, though?
I think I'm gonna land on 2.
Okay, I was gonna say 2.5 is kind of what I was thinking.
I said 2.5.
Pretty average, pretty mid. Yeah,
I put it 2.
Yeah,
it's.
I think it's fair.
It didn't really accomplish anything, in my opinion, and it kind of broke its own rules in a way. I mean, I haven't seen Alien, so maybe the rules changed a little bit. But breaking the rules of the Alien, kind of just Sigourney Weaver's character Ripley just having some sort of immunity where the alien stays covied up longer. But
I think I need to adjust
plot armor. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think I need to adjust my 2.5 because like I gave it 2.5 because like the touches that Fincher brought in were like enough to be like, well, it's decently crafted ish, you know, like.
Yeah.
But I agree that like it doesn't achieve a lot of what it set out to do, and also it breaks a lot of what it's. I don't know. Maybe I should put it lower.
Yeah.
But then,
how many movies does he have? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean.
No, you're good.
Fincher.
And then,
yeah. How many? Yeah. Oh, you go finish it.
Sorry, but Alien Resurrection is so much worse, and I put that at 2 stars. So I would have to, you know, I'd have to widen my scale to be lower. I think here. That's where I'm kind of coming from. But, but yeah, Fincher has 11 films, right? Is that
11? Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm just like looking at his Wikipedia page right now. I've seen some. Like I've seen Seven, Fight Club. I've seen The Social Network. Honestly, that's about it. But I mean, like I've heard of all of these. So I mean,
cool.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be nice,
dude. I guess he was like an executive producer for Love, Death, and Robots.
He made one of the
directed an
shorts.
episode.
Yeah. I didn't know that. That's cool.
One
That's
of
a
the
good
best episodes, if not the best episode.
Which one?
Dead
The ship.
Wreck.
Oh, the
with
pirate, like
the season 3.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that episode was wild.
That was great.
gnarly.
Yeah.
Dark.
That whips ass.
Yeah, should we talk about that too for the dive? I was wondering if we should rope that one in.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm down.
We'll
Yeah.
do
Talk
it,
about Love, Death, and Robots
right before
for
Mank.
days.
Let's do that one.
Yeah.
Do that.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'll just close it out for the video sake, I guess.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to the first director's dive for David Fincher. It's going to be a nice journey here on our third director, and we're all excited. So stick with us. Stick with us for the next movie.
Just getting our toes wet, and we about to dive in, boys.
Subscribe,
7.
you silly salamanders, if you aren't already.
All right.
And stay gold.
There it is.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, Alex, want to do some Evil Dead?
Yeah, I mean, like you, I don't really have a whole lot to say. I just, some appreciation posts. So
Sure. You guys want to hop out, or what you thinking?
Yeah, I gotta go to bed.
I'll hop out. All right.
Are you working tomorrow?
Sounds good.
No.
Yeah.
No, I thought you had Tuesdays off, right?
No, I'm on regular weekdays now.
Oh.
Got the weekends back, so now I'm Monday through Friday, 2:00 wake up times, baby.
nice.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, have fun.
Good luck.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right. Peace out.
All right. Catch you guys later.
Yeah.
I'm good. See you guys.
Later.
Man. And then there were two.
All right. Yep. The OGs. OGs still here.
All right. So yeah, let's get into this. I mean, there's not how much can you say that hasn't really already been said or that you already expect, I guess.
Yeah, you know what you're getting into, I'd say, with this movie, for sure.
But what do you think? How did it compare? Have you seen the originals?
I've seen
like
the OG, Army of Darkness, a little bit of Ash versus Evil Dead. Have not seen Evil Dead 2. I think that's the only one I'm missing right now. But
that's the real good one.
That's the campy
it's kind of just
right?
It takes the first one, and that was like their proof of concept, and it just makes it better. So
I'll get to that one. And I have seen the 2013, I believe it's 2013 one.
Yeah.
So
Fede Alvarez's.
Mm-hmm. And I was a big fan of that one when it came out. I was like fresh out of high school, and I was like, "That was the fucking sickest horror movie I've ever seen, dude! It's fucking nuts." And it is. It's honestly one of the top tier, like straight up horror movies I think I've ever seen. Evil Dead Rise, I liked it a lot. I think it doesn't have some of the biting edge of that 2013 version, which I question if it should or not, because I think the 2013 version dove headfirst into like gore violence type horror, which is, fucking scary and disgusting and gross. But this one brought a little bit more of the camp back. Not all of it, but some of it. And it was a good ride. It felt like an Evil Dead movie. It didn't feel bad. I feel like I'm like negatively kind of reviewing it, like as if it's not giving me enough, but it did. I think it did. I just also, my perspective is that I just don't really get much from horror movies. I know you love them, but I just don't really gain much from them. So when I left the theater, I was like, that was fucking scary. That was cool. And I'll move on pretty quickly from it. But what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, the first one and the second one are obviously they're iconic. They're like they paved the way for what horror films can be, in my opinion, which is why I respect Raimi as a creator. I mean, he kind of paved the way for superhero movies, in my opinion, because Spider-Man took off and they're like,
huge.
Wow, we can make something off this, right? Same with the horror. I mean, no one thought Evil Dead would work. They burnt the cabin down to keep warm while they're shooting, and stuff. So But yeah, and then Army of Darkness kind of upped the camp, which is if there's any like campy horror or slapstick comedy, I think horror is the perfect genre for it because horror you can play into
Mix as
everything,
well. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the Fede Alvarez's Evil Dead went straight for the kind of serious tone and straight up gore, which I was there for. I mean, I really liked it. I think this one was just a little bit better because it gave you the gore, not as much, which was kind of unfortunate, but it gave you the gore, but it also gave you some substance to kind of chew on. But that substance that they did give you to chew on wasn't like they needed to choose to commit to the substance more, I think,
They needed
rather
more of
than
it, you said?
yeah, I would think. I mean, there's some like how the Book of the Dead, the Necronomicon came into play. I thought that was a little weird. I mean, it was the best they could do on an apartment complex, but then
Right.
like you know, then they had
For
to
sure.
get the tropes of the boomstick, the chainsaw, that kind of stuff. Which the boomstick was natural, the chainsaw
Yeah.
was just kind of like had to happen.
Parking
So,
garage, yeah.
there's a wood chipper in the parking
Yeah,
garage.
somebody's been
Uh,
towing the wood chipper to the city, you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
But overall, I thought it was badass. I had a good time. I think the energy in the theater really helped because everyone was there for the camp and for the, just
Yeah, to be scared,
the
yeah.
shocking violence of what Evil Dead is,
Mhm.
and this is Evil Dead. I mean, it pays tribute. It does it justice. So,
Yeah.
I think the woman who plays the mom, she killed it as like super chilling, which is one of the things I love about horror is like her types of characters where they're like impactful, chilling characters without being like paranormal or The
Yeah.
Conjuring, where it's kind of just hokey. In my
Mhm.
opinion, that's kind of just on the hokey level of like, oh yeah, it's spooky, but it's more reliant on jump scares. This is like, this woman is being cruel,
Sadistic.
unusual.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those are the kinds of like characters I can get behind of in terms of watching and kind of seeing how they flesh out. So that's
Yeah,
why I
for
think
sure.
horror kind of pays off. You have those characters that kind of stick with you where they're fucked up,
Hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
But there's my spiel.
I think you just froze on my screen, but I'm not sure.
Did I? Oh no. Can you hear me though?
Yeah, I can hear you still.
Uh,
It's
yeah.
probably just my
Overall though, I
screen.
liked it, and I think Sarah might have liked it too. She
Nice.
she went in actually. She was kind of scared to come in the house because it was dark, but so I went in first, and of course, scared her a
No.
couple times, but it
Oh,
paid
okay.
off.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't know. Should I try to reset this to keep talking, or what do you think?
Well, we could just finish it out. It might. It's up to you. I don't really.
All right, whatever. Fuck
I
it.
mean, is it still? It might still be streaming. It
It is
just might
streaming.
be me frozen.
It's just
Okay,
you for
yeah,
for
then it's
sure.
fine.
Okay.
As long as I don't look stupid. Do I look stupid?
No, you look like you're about to like say a really good point, actually. So it's a really
Good.
good
All right, we'll just
point
leave it.
yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I mean the mom, I get what you mean because I was like wondering why I like Evil Dead more than like actual other horror movies and franchises because Evil
Mhm.
Dead is one I seek out actually for strangely. Um, and yeah, it's now he's gone. Are you there?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck happened. Maybe it was my end.
Maybe. No, you're
It
back.
just booted me out.
Yeah. You
It's
missed my
alright. You were
great
seeking out
point.
Evil Dead.
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I just like wonder why I think it's like a higher quality than most other horror movies that kind of do the same thing, like Conjuring shit like that. It is
Yeah,
like supernatural to an element. It's like demonic, more heavy focused, I guess, but
for sure.
I think like Insidious and stuff like that have like demonic presences and
Yeah,
shit, and those movies kind of suck in my opinion, but I mean they're okay.
for sure.
But yeah, I don't know. I was like wondering how I draw the distinction, but I think it's just like the style of Evil Dead and its confidence is like a big part of it too, where
Yeah,
they are willing to show you the monster, the face of it, and like
yeah,
you don't have to be just like looking at the character that's scared the whole time. You get to see face on the horror of it. Maybe that's it, you know?
yeah, yeah. And I mean, in horror movies, they're afraid to say stuff like when the mom sniffs
Mhm.
the baby in her belly and she says, "Ellie cries in hell for or weeps in hell for you and your unborn child." It's like
Yeah,
the like you said, the confidence to put that in your movie, and it just makes it that much more sinister, this
for sure.
character, because she's obviously hears Ellie and knows where Ellie is, and she's like drugged down to hell, but like, relaying that information to her sister
Mhm.
is just fucked up,
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, although there were so many great lines in this movie that landed, I'd
Yeah,
say like
for sure.
80% of the lines that were like intended to be like, fuck, like I'd say like 80% of them landed, which is a good ratio, I'd say.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Um, most of them were in the trailer. I felt a little bit of trailer disconnect. That's my fault though, because I've seen so many fucking movies and I've seen this
Yeah.
trailer 20 goddamn times. And the trailer's fire. It's one of the best
Yeah.
trailers in a long time, honestly.
Slaps ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the line of "Mommy's with the maggots now" is one of the most chilling lines I've ever heard. Like, it's
Fucking
so good.
fantastic.
And the line
Yeah.
of like, "You'll be a good mom because you lie to kids, or because you can lie to
Yeah.
kids." That's such a great line too. I mean, so there's good fucking writing here too,
Yeah.
at the heart of it, you know.
Yeah. Did they have the line where she's looking in the peephole and she says, "Nothing a big ol' hug and kiss from
Big
you
old
can't
kiss.
help."
Yeah. Open up now.
Did they have that in the
I think
trailer?
so. Yeah, in the trailer they did for
Ah,
sure, but
damn. I don't
maybe not
remember
a
that.
big old
That one
kiss.
landed so hard for me. That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, the mother actress played it. She played the mom role pretty well, where she's like this hands-off parent, kind of just
Yeah.
letting him be maybe a little too hands-off, obviously.
Yeah.
And then the flip side of that is, yeah, well, really well done.
What I think also kinda grabs me with this stuff, I mean, I really like Ash versus Evil Dead. I know you said you kinda started the series,
Yeah, I
but I
fell
think the
off.
series has a lot to offer.
Hmm.
Um, I it it makes it more, the Necronomicon gives it more of a purpose, which I find the most interesting part is the Book of the Dead and how it in
Well,
Ash vs. Evil Dead, it's like a living, breathing thing because it clearly is, it feeds off blood,
yeah, it's
but
crazy.
yeah, I
Um,
just find that whole lore of it is just kind of interesting.
I thought the lore drops in this were pretty cool with like the records that he finds and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
that was a dynamic way to show
Did
that.
it? I know he said that there are 3 books, Book of the Dead or Books of the Dead. I think he said there were 3. Is that like a lore thing that's true to? Is there like 3 different
Really?
ones?
I didn't catch that. No,
Okay.
I just know, like, at least with in Ash vs. Evil Dead, it's the Necronomicon from
Mhm.
before, so there might be more.
I think
Maybe
that's
he's
what he
just paying
said.
homage to Raimi's universe, fed Alvarez's
Maybe.
universe, and maybe this universe,
Maybe actually that might be why they said 3, but
Yeah,
I thought that was cool. It was like I liked the vibe of like the records and like the old Preacher recordings.
yeah.
That was well done, but I
It's super dynamic way to, instead of, like, exposition dumping, like, from
yeah,
the character, it was,
right.
yeah, that was
And
cool. Fresh.
having a character dumbly say like ignoratu, like
Yeah.
no character is gonna say that shit out loud unless you're
Oh, here comes the Latin.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that was good. I did question later though when they play the 3rd record. It's like here numbered 1, 2, 3, and you
Yeah.
play the 3rd record. And it's like don't play the other records. Don't fucking. This is my warning. Don't. I was like, why did you put that as number 3? Like that. I don't know.
Maybe
It
you
just
should have
made
front
no
loaded the
sense.
first one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that made no sense to me, and it kind of was goofy. But I mean, whatever. You have to get those records played. So it's
Yeah.
and I don't know.
Yeah.
Just made me laugh thinking about like that Preacher recording the warning and then labeling them 1, 2, 3 as if like they have to go through the whole experience then get the
Yeah.
warning. Like
He's like, "If I had to go through it, these bastards have
yeah,
to
you
go
got
through
to
it
deal
too."
with it.
Uh,
I did like. I don't think it's. I don't know if it's in the old movies and stuff like that, but I liked how the book was like drawing itself whenever it possessed
yeah, that was
someone
cool.
too. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that was new, and that was pretty. That was pretty cool how you like got the imagery of it all,
Right.
added to
Yeah.
it.
I thought that was a fun way to, like, similar to the records thing, it was a fun way to, like, progress the story without telling you too much. It showed you, like, what's
Yeah.
happening. Like, when the kids crawl inside her stomach, it showed you in the book
No,
where we're at
yeah,
in the book now,
yeah,
so that was a cool way to do it,
yeah,
for sure.
yeah. And this does feel kind of like where it's like more tame than the 2013. It kind of does feel like like a horror movie that you can just bring the whole family to almost, like which this movie is like a family Evil Dead movie, which is kind of cool how they amalgamate at the end there into the fucking I don't know.
Whatever you want to call that.
Yeah, I played a game called Inside on the Switch, and it just reminded me of that. I don't know. It's a good game, but
crawl inside your mom in that game, and
no, it's just like multiple bodies like form into this like blobby army fucking thing. It's crazy, but yeah, no, it's cool. I mean, it's like a nice little end horror villain there. The ultimate form of it or whatever. And
I thought no, go ahead.
I thought the kids were good, honestly.
They were.
They're pretty good acting overall, and like their looks were pretty fresh and like dynamic and or like new enough that like they stood out to me as like in this franchise. I don't know, strangely.
More modern take.
Yeah, for sure. And I like the city vibe. It's definitely different for Evil Dead, and I don't think it's wrong. It's just new, so I was cool with it.
I like how they tease you of like, oh, here's another cabin in the woods type story. Oh, it's the Evil Dead. Remember the cabin?
Yeah.
And it's just like one of the fucking coolest intro title sequences where she comes out of the water and the Evil Dead rise. Oh,
yeah, that was good.
Fucking cool. Great. But I thought it was gonna, how in the Fede Alvarez one, where it rains blood after all the souls were sacrificed, and it rains blood and the demon comes out of the ground.
Mm-hmm.
When they were chipping up in the wood, I thought there was going to be a demon come out of the earthquake because I thought, oh, there's the blood rain, But obviously it wasn't mentioned in this one. I just thought, oh, maybe we're supposed to assume this is going to happen because all these souls have been sacrificed, so now it's raining blood. But
I did like maybe it's that roped that homage into the Shining reference homage here. I mean the blood in the elevator, that was nice. And how it just explodes with them coming out. It's like a little bit more amplified than the Shining, obviously. A little cooler, but it was nice.
Fantastic. Yeah.
And on the kids, I also halfway through the movie I was kind of worried that I had like seen everything that this movie had to offer. Where like she killed the side characters in the hall pretty easily, and I was like, well, okay, I mean, all these guys are going to live to the end and we're going to make it out with them. And then the way that they like slowly, like they bring in the older sister character to be possessed and they're actually taking out these characters. I was like,
creepy crawlies in my tummy.
Oh, eating that glass scene was fucking nuts. But I was just refreshed. I was glad that they took those steps because they didn't play it that safe. They killed some kids, and I mean the son obviously deserves it since he's the one that summoned it. But they could have had them all survive, but they didn't, and I respect it. It added horror and shock and like brought new life into the movie at that point, which it needed. So
definitely, being bold enough to kill kids is something you don't see clearly, and I don't, that's one of the things that I've heard about this movie that people are like kind of celebrating in a way. It's like they were bold enough to do this, not everyone survived, which I was also happy about. It gives you less to predict, you need that freshness, keep it fresh. And I thought the shot in the hallway, I mean, you might feel cheated that you didn't get to see these deaths happen firsthand, but I thought it was cool. You see it through the and you just see the kid running, and she just speed walking behind him, and his body comes flying. That was just fucking it was good.
You see the gun come in with the neighbor fires. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, I like that too. But I think I'd give it 3.5 total. I wanted to give it a little more, but it's leaving me pretty fast, and that's just maybe horror. But I also think it might just be this one too. But what did you end on?
This is a 4-star. I think because, like I said earlier, I really liked Fede Alvarez's one, and that was a 3.5. And I just thought this one was a step above because it just felt new, fresh, and brought new life to the series. So
for sure, nice. Yeah. Well, what did you guys think of
movie, though?
Evil Dead Rise? Was it as good as the OGs? Was it as good as the 2013? Where does it kind of fall in the filmography for you guys? Let us know.
Yeah.
But
groovy as hell.
Yeah. Any other comments or anything else you want to chat about?
No. I mean, go see it. Yeah. This is one of those rare instances where it's not. It's a franchise movie, but it's not a Disney franchise movie, so
Not
it's
yet.
good. It's got heart. Yeah.
Evil Dead Disney coming 2030.
Yes. Evil Dead Plus.
Yeah, it's just like fucking Donald Duck, like Mickey and the crew going into the cabin.
Goofy gets possessed.
Yeah,
it gets fucked up.
Yeah, hey, I'd watch that. That sounds pretty. If as long as they don't tiptoe it, you know, they got to go full send.
They kind of did with Winnie the Pooh, that Winnie the Pooh movie, you know, Blood and Honey. Not so successful. Well, I guess it was successful, but you know, in terms of creating art, not so successful.
Yeah.
But
well, what'd you guys think? Let us know, and join us on the next review.
Yeah.
And
go
ahead.
Just join us on the next stream too. We do this Mondays, sometimes Tuesdays, if that's what you know
scheduled
has to happen.
Yeah.
We're still workshopping the name, you know. Let us know if you think Spread and Butter sounds good, because that might be next week's. We'll see.
Try it. Yeah, we'll try it out. We'll see which one sticks. We got a segment name, Disney's Dunk Corner, so we just got to keep workshopping until we hit something, you know. So
baby steps.
We'll get there. But thanks for listening, guys, and yeah, join us next week.
Stay gold.
Yeah.